We are taking 16 board games that came out in 2024 and putting them into a bracket against each other,
putting them to the test,
so we can figure out which of them is the best
and which ones are going to be lost in the shuffle. Hey, it's that time of year.
It is.
It's award season.
Oh, award season.
It's that time of year where different people, places, and corporations are making their top 10 lists of games from last year, and I figured we should jump in and land.
All right, I'm on board. I loved. There was a lot of great games last year. This is going to be tough.
There were. In fact, there were so many. I don't think it's possible just to make a simple top 10 list. I think we need to take things up to the next level and actually have these games compete against each other in a tournament.
Ooh, fancy tournament style, head-to-head brackets.
So what we have done is we have compiled a list of 16 competitors among the highest ranked board games on Board Game Geek from 2024.
Okay, all right.
We're going to put them into a bracket. In fact, we're going to do an extra special 2-part episode. Where this episode, we are going to introduce the 16 competitors in alphabetical order. And then next time, we'll actually have the bracket where we will whittle them down until we have just one game standing.
Ooh, exciting.
So without further ado, I believe it is time for us to meet the competitors.
Yeah. Our first competitor in the top 16 board games of 2024 is the game Andromeda's Edge from Cardboard Alchemy, and then also Lucky Duck did the
That's right.
retail version of it. Andromeda's Edge is a great sort of big box game where you are engine building, you're moving up tracks, you're moving around the board in a worker placement sort of movement aspect, fighting in combat. One of my favorite things about Andromeda's Edge is just how simple and clean the combat system is. You are rolling dice, and then if you roll the highest number, you win the combat, and to be better at combat, you just get to roll extra dice. So it's just really simple and it's fun. Yeah.
Also, a remake of Dwellings of Eldervale.
Yes. Oh, and set in space this time. So if you're a big fan of space games, it's one of the most popular genres of games out there. It is a nice space game.
Technically speaking, every game is in space.
Oh, we don't want technicalities here.
Good point.
Get on the board, Andromeda's Edge.
Speaking of space, that brings us to competitor number 2, the mighty Arcs.
Ooh.
Short on name, big on fun.
Yeah.
This game has been the critical darling of many content creators and influencers, and it's easy to see why.
It is certainly very unique.
It is. You got your trick-taking aspect. You got your area control aspect. You got your engine building aspect. You got so many aspects. How could it not be on the list?
I can't keep track of all these aspects.
Well, it's a bit of a pain in the aspects.
I do like the unique aspect of the strategy being driven through a trick-taking card mechanism. That's certainly something I haven't seen in another game before. Next up, we have the game Bomb Busters. This is a much shorter game than the last couple of games. It's a game that plays in 30 minutes or so. It is a cooperative game about trying to defuse different bombs, and you are flipping over tiles and trying to get the right color wires so you can defuse bombs. A great example.
Oh, thank you.
It's like you've gone to pantomime school.
Best $34,000 ever spent. Continuing that vein of small but nice is Castle Combo. A game so small and nice, you might play it twice.
Yeah. I will say, I really like Castle Combo. It's an interesting game because nothing in the game feels wildly different than other games. It just all comes together in such a good way.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing it's doing that I'm like, oh wow, this is so unique, but it just, the whole package and how it all synergizes is just, it's really great. It's really fun.
It's one of those games that when you start, you're like, okay, I'm going to build this little 3x3 tableau. Sure. Wait, I'm going to have 9 turns? No, there's no way I'm going to be able to pull off these combos in 9 turns. And you start off and you get your engine going and all of a sudden you're done.
Yeah, it is quick and the combos are fun. Like, all the cards in it are good. It's just, what are you going for in that particular game with that particular strategy? All right, next up we have the game Civolution. This is maybe the heaviest weight game on this list. It is a
certainly a contender.
Yes, it is a large box game about civilization building. You know, it is a civ builder game. Plays 1 to 4 players, and you get to manage the countless possibilities of your civilization. So, yeah.
How many possibilities could there possibly be?
There are a lot of possibilities. Ooh. You know, everything's possible when you play the possibilities of civolution.
I could not have put it better myself. Continuing this trend now of bigger, bolder games, we have one that's even bigger and bolder than Civolution, Dune: War for Arrakis.
Yeah.
Where you will have your troops, you'll have your areas on the board, and you'll have your Arrakising. Nope. You got your troops. You got your strategy, you got your objectives.
Yeah. There's a lot of asymmetry in this game too, so if you're looking for like asymmetric factions, that Dune has that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that walk up to me on the street, they say, will Dune: War for Arrakis have staying power? Does it have the chutzpah that a game like this needs to have? Well, I tell them, we got a contender right here.
All right. Next up on our list is the game Endeavor Deep Sea. This one is about exploring the deep sea. And this is a remake of Endeavor Age of Sail. And so, you know, one of the things, there was some problematic stuff in the theme of Endeavor Age of Sail. And so they took a lot of the great mechanisms and gave it a different theme. And I'm glad they did that. You know, this is a much better game to play. You know?
All right. I think that your opinion is not all wet. I was sitting here the entire time trying to figure out how to work that in. I think I did it. The next game on the list for me to introduce is another one related to Lord of the Rings. This one being the Lords of the Rings ring trick-taking game.
Yeah, you put a lot of extra rings in that one.
Yeah,
that was not the one ring. There was multiple rings.
Yes. Regardless, this is a nifty-dandy little trick-taking game where every round, all the players will have different characters that have objectives of how many tricks they need to take and what type. And that will influence and guide the cooperative trick-taking game experience to achieve all of those individual people's objectives. You'll unlock things as you go, and the stakes will get higher and higher as you make your way.
Oh, we love stakes. We love stakes on Lost in the Shuffle. The name of this show is our high stakes on getting it right. When I say it.
I'm the wrong person to comment on that.
All right, next up, we have maybe the smallest box game on this list, Flip 7. This is a really just sort of classic push your luck card game. You are hitting and trying not to get the same face card twice, and it's a race to 200 points. And this is the type of game you can bring around to anybody, teach to anybody, and they're guaranteed to have a great time.
Absolutely. Another game that was certain to strike a chord with your game group is Harmonies.
Ooh, look, that was clever. You did the strike a chord and everything.
It took me 3.5 days to come up with that.
You lost sleep last night.
I did, yes. This has been compared favorably to Abzul because it incorporates that same thematic system of creating little groups of different tiles and whatnot to achieve objectives and score points based on different scoring mechanisms.
The table presence is really nice.
Oh, yeah.
It looks pretty. It's fun. It's got some three-dimensionality to it. Yeah. Next up, we have The Lord of the Rings, Duel for Middle-earth. This is a thematic reimplementation of Seven Wonders Duel. This takes a lot of the mechanisms in Seven Wonders Duel and gives it a Lord of the Rings theme. But I do think, I love Seven Wonders Duel. I'll come right out and say that. And one of the things that's nice about this version is it isn't just the different theme. The mechanisms almost make it like easier to teach to me because like instead of just a military track that's a little abstract, now you have a board and you're placing troops out on the board and you're trying to get control of it. And so it makes the sort of military aspect of the game feel more tangible. And, you know, one of you is playing as, you know, the Sam and Frodo and stuff, and one of you is playing as the bad guys. So who can triumph first?
Anti-Frodo.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the reason I paused is I was like, I don't know if you're actually playing as Sauron or if you're playing as...
Just the forces of evil?
Yeah, like, I can't remember if you're specifically playing as Sauron or not.
There's no way to tell.
Yeah.
We don't have the technology.
That's true.
Well, the next game ratchets the old weight right back up because it is SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. Woof.
Yeah.
I did it. I said it right.
You did it. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's an unfamiliar sensation. This game is all about setting up your observatories and your scientists and your research grants and your this and your that and getting things ready to go explore and find potentially intelligent life among the cosmos.
One of the things I like about this game is a lot of space games that we play in the board game hobby are science fiction based. This one is based on real science. This is like... Point. This is an actual sort of scientifically, there was a lot of research that was put into this game, and I think that's interesting too. And it obviously has great table presence as well. It does.
And people appreciate that because this game, perhaps more than any other on our list, is one that recently I have heard, so you're going to go to game night on Saturday? Well, yeah. You want to play SETI? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to interrupt my other game of SETI to play this game of SETI, but yeah, let's play SETI. So I've been hitting the table a lot in these parts.
All right. Nice. Next up, we have Slay the Spire, the board game. The reason this is called the board game is this is based on a popular video game called Slay the Spire. This is a cooperative adventure exploration game. There's a lot of content in it and a lot of sessions that you can play with it as you're exploring the world. I know multiple people that have toppers on their board game tables at home because they're like, oh, Slay the Spire is underneath this. Like we play Slay the Spire, just the two of us when nobody else is here. And then when you come over, we'll put a topper on it so we can play something else, but we're definitely going back to Slay the Spire.
I have a game group that has experienced that exact thing with this exact game.
Yeah, there you go. And so if you want like a big exploration game, there's a lot of content, a lot of world to explore in Slay the Spire.
Would you say there's an unlimited amount of world to explore?
I mean, there's an end point to the game, so I don't know if I would say unlimited, but there's a lot.
You might have a different opinion about Star Wars Unlimited.
Well, the words unlimited is in the name. It has to be.
They put it right there.
Yeah, they're telling you there's no end to it.
And I think they're actually telling you in more ways than one because I believe that before this game even rolled off the presses and hit shelves, they had like 7 expansions planned for it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So Fantasy Flight has a plan for this game.
Okay.
So it has definitely made an impact on the competitive dueling card game, collectible, whatnot, custom crafting, building a deck card scene.
Sure. Yeah, but you put a lot of words in there back to back.
What was I just saying about could not have said it better myself?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all I'm going to say about this one for now.
Last game I am bringing to you for the 16 top games of 2024 is the game Unconscious Mind. This is another fairly heavyweight game, but has a pretty unique theme when it comes to the world of board games and the world of heavyweight games. This is about being one of Freud's followers and being about therapy and about reading dreams and interpreting people's thoughts. Like most heavyweight games, there are a lot of different things going on and a lot of different mechanisms, all put into
together,
this box. But yeah, if you're a fan of therapy or want to get better.
There you go, Unconscious Mind. Give me 2.
Yeah.
I'm racking my own mind now, trying to figure out a way to segue from that into the next game.
Do you want to get better? Then bring up this next game.
There you go. It works for everything.
Yeah.
1,000,001 uses. One of those uses is, of course, you got to talk about Wormspan. Okay? Wormspan, based on...
Wingspan? Is that what you were searching for?
The things that flap?
The bird people.
The bird span.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that over. You got Wormspan, the successor to Wingspan, and the precursor to... Finspan.
There you go. You almost got there.
We have recorded that more times than you would know, so we're keeping that one. Wingspan, at this point, is almost, your mainstream level game.
It's a global phenomenon.
Global phenomenon.
I think so.
You got your Catan, you got your Dominion, you got your Monopoly, you're going to have your Wingspan. Wormspan is following in its footsteps for sure.
Yeah.
I've even heard people say that Wormspan is perhaps the strongest of the 3.
Interesting.
And so here we go. our top 16 picks for the contender of Game of the Year 2024. But only one of these can be the top game of 2024.
We're going to have some debates.
We are.
We're going to have some feelings.
Yes, we're going to come back next episode with a randomly seeded tournament bracket. We're going to put all these games against each other head to head to see which one comes out on top. In the meantime, though, go ahead and start your own little choices on what games you think should bubble up to the top, and we can compare notes when we come back with our next episode. So prepare your picks and let us know down in the comments what you're going to select, and we will be back to compare notes real soon.